Polish friend, but to keep the continuity, I think Youssef Amrani, a diplomat and now a cabinet member from the Morocco government, and a man who also had a career as the second Secretary General of the Union for Mediterranean. So what is, you should be happy to listen to this recommendation to prioritize and concentrate on the north of Africa. Are you happy, and what is your advice?
I completely share Gilles Kepel's recommendation as far as the priority to be given today to the Mediterranean. Let me first make some preliminary remarks. First, the neighborhood policy at the beginning was designed for a stable political and social environment in Europe. It was more access to market, free trade agreements, but today there is a new context in the region. There is a context in Europe which is difficult. The economic crisis in Europe, the complication of the European system, and I know what I'm saying. Today, we're not only talking to the Commission, we are talking to the Commission, we're talking to the High Representative, and since the Lisbon Treaty, we are talking to the Parliament, the European Parliament, who today is a key actor in shaping the European foreign policy. And I'm talking from a southern perspective. Sometimes, and I have negotiated for 10 years the advanced status of Morocco with the European Union, sometimes we are maybe lost with a lot of institutions and a lot of instruments. And I know what I'm talking about because I've been experiencing for the last 10 years the relation with Europe, with a country of Morocco who is considered by the European Union as a model. So we have new context in Europe, Lisbon Treaty. Now we have a new Commission, and we have the Parliament, and today we have a complex and dramatic situation in the South Mediterranean. And this is, I think it's a major concern, not only for us, for the European partners, but also for Europe itself. And also, there are new thematics in this concern. And Gilles Kepel was talking about security. I remember once I was talking with Cathy Ashton was in Tunisia when she didn't know that security was in her mandate. She was only talking about enlargement, about neighborhood policy, but today the security threat is essential in our relation between two shores of the Mediterranean. Because what is happening today in Libya, the connections with Al-Qaeda and and Mujawa in Sahel has a direct connection with Europe. And even now, our friends can tell security people that the connection is so strong that we need to work together. We have no more choice than to work together. So today, EU is faced with new challenges. And today, Europe, because it is, if you want it or not, the Mediterranean, the Sahel is your environment. So you are obliged to provide immediate solutions for complex situations. Very complex. It's to deal with Qaeda and the networking. And I was negotiating with the European Union as far as security is concerned. I can tell you that we have brought a lot of added value as far as how to shape and redesign. So today, I think the priority is to reshape the new neighborhood policy. I think today there is a consensus. Whether because I'm not going to talk about the Eastern Partnership, but even some partners of the East insist that the priority should be between the Mediterranean. Of course, there's a difference, and I think Jacques pointed out rightly, we have no political perspective to join the European Union as Mediterranean partners. It's not the case of the countries of the Central Europe. Today, if Czech, if Slovakia, if Slovenia, if Poland are members of the European Union, because at that time, the European Union had the necessary tools to accompany these countries, not only to democratize, but also access to market, modernization, and a lot of money. Countries like Spain or for example, like Spain or Greece, benefited from the les fonds structurels de cohésion. Thanks to this instrument, you were able to drag them into the construction of Europe. It's not the case today of the Mediterranean countries for many reasons, I can tell you, and I will speak also about a specific case of negotiation between Morocco and EU as far as the advanced status is concerned. So today, I think what we need is a revision of the neighborhood policy, which should be based on new approaches, and we have forget about MMM, money mobility market, more for more. Of course, it's important we have to continue with this, but should be based on, I think, on three major elements. Dialogue. We need dialogue to be able, because we have our priorities. We want to share with you our vision and our expectations and our ambitions. So we need dialogue in order to you to understand what are our priorities. Of course, we need differentiation. My second element, it's a key element in the European foreign policy, differentiation. People who do more reforms, who have more expectation should be supported more. And I think this differentiation worked in the case of the Eastern Partnership, and we need incentives. Of course, when you talk to the Commission, when you talk about incentives today, you have to maybe to forget about it, because the economic crisis in Europe, the lack of financial resources is also an epidemic. But we hope that this will disappear. The two processes are not contradictory. We understand that Europe today and countries like Czech Republic, like Poland, and they need to enlarge democracy, and they need to create opportunities for business, because at the end of the day, it's a question of how much growth. As I like very much the idea of Gilles Kepin when I was talking about Turkey. Turkey, yes, today is not anymore interested on the European Union, because Turkey is growing economically well, it's doing pretty well. So this is the importance of economic development is essential. But you should not forget, as Europeans, that today the Maghreb, North Africa, is an opportunity for you. I'm talking because from a Mediterranean perspective, but it is a large market for European business. This is the future, because in order Europe to be able to compete with big markets like China or South America, you need to have a greater environment where there are perspectives of growth. And the Mediterranean, the Arab world, the young generation Arab world are a possibility. Now, yes? Yes, Tam, let me, because I need to make some proposals, I don't know why you don't, I'm speaking less than the others. And this,
yes, they had more time.
More time. But, I'm only one from the South. So let me please express on behalf of the South this perspective. You should not think only
less than others.
Let me think that you should not only think about market.
15 minutes plus.
We need also to have access to a market. The second element, I will be very brief. EU thought only about migration. Today, we have two challenges. We have security and we have resolution of conflicts. I think also the ANP must respond to the priorities of the countries themselves. And today, the Arab world has changed. There are new players, new actors. They're not only governments. And he's working with civil society. This is also another element in order to rapprochement. So I think that, and I will conclude by that, Morocco was able to design something unique with the European Union called the advanced status, which is something between total integration. We share with the European Union all the instruments except the institution. But even the institution, now we were able to have a joint commission from the Moroccan Parliament and European Parliament. We have a joint committee to show the Europeans that we have no complex on human rights, for example. We have a joint committee between Morocco and Europe on human rights. We have no complex, no taboo in talking about human rights. And we even have access to some the programme communautaire. I think today I will finish that Europe is our partner, at least from the Moroccan perspective. We have an ambition to reinforce this relation with Europe. We have an ambition to adhere to the European programs, but we need also some support as far as this new neighborhood policy, because we have some expectations, we have an ambition, and we want this ambition to be met. And finally, there is no contradiction between neighborhood policy designed for the Mediterranean and the Eastern Partnership. Then we have, I don't want to talk about it, but there is also the regional dimension, which is the Union for the Mediterranean. Thank you.